Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna make a really a meal that is really restorative and nourishing, and it's called kitchari, and I like to call it Ayurvedic Reset. And this meal, it's full protein, it's super easy to digest, and it's very nourishing. And so it's a really good thing to eat, like if you haven't been feeling well, or if you're just coming out of being sick, or let's say you just have a few days off and or maybe like you overindulged or something and you're just like, okay, I got to take it back a notch, right? So then what you can do is you can make kitchari, and you can just eat kitchari for 1 or 2 days. So a lot of times I'll, on the weekend when I'm home, and or if I have a time where I'm resting a little bit more, I'll make kitchari and I'll eat it for a couple days, and it's just a super amazing reset. It's very easy on the digestive tract. It's really easy to assimilate nutrition, and it just lets your digestive tract kind of rest, but you're being fully fed. Okay, so I love this meal, and it's very simple. It's not like full of a ton of flavor, but it's one of these foods that you know that you can just be nourishing and taking care of yourself when you need to. So what we use is I put in a cup of basmati rice. And so again, don't get tripped up on what kind of rice. Use whatever rice you have, okay? But the traditional Ayurvedic recipes call for basmati rice. Then what we use is what's called split yellow mung dal. And so these are mung beans that are split and yellow. And these mung beans, they're really easy to digest, okay? So I use a cup of that. Now, so I have a cup of each, and what you want to do is you want to soak these overnight. And then what I do is I add about a teaspoon to a tablespoon of apple cider vinegar to help make the nutrition and the beans and rice more digestible. But what you need to do is soak it overnight. So what we're going to do is we're going to add water. And we're just going to fill up whatever you've got your beans and mung dal soaking in. You just fill it up, okay? And you just having the apple cider vinegar in there helps it to ferment just a little bit, so it's more digestible. And you let this sit out overnight. You can even let it sit for 24 hours, but I like to let it sit out for 12 to 24 hours. Okay, so you just let this sit out on the counter. Then after you've let it sit for at least overnight, what you want to do is you want to rinse it, okay? You want to rinse it and until the water that you're using to rinse it is clear, okay? So, and it's really important to use a colander that's got small holes, otherwise you'll just be losing the mung dal and the rice through the holes. So what I do is I just pour it in here, and then I just rinse it. Just kind of spend some time, and you can see the water coming through, and yeah, I'll just keep rinsing it. Usually I rinse it for about a minute. Okay, so now your rice and your mung dal are ready. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to be adding some turmeric, bay leaf, some grated ginger, and some cardamom pods. And so the cardamom pods, what you want to do is you want to break them open. So the seeds inside of the cardamom should be black. You can see how these are black. If the seeds inside of the green cardamom pod are like gray or white or fluffy, or like sometimes they're dust, no, that's not what you want. So you don't want to smash these, but you just want to break the green part open so that you have access to the black seeds. And so you're going to be putting the black seeds and the green pods into the kitchari. Cardamom is very moistening and soothing, very good for the digestive tract, helps you to digest your nutrition, and it adds really nice flavor. Okay? Okay, so we've soaked our rice and our mung dal overnight and rinsed it several times, and now we're going to make kitchari. And what you want to do is you want to start and you want to wake your spices up. So we're going to put in a tablespoon of ghee, medium to high heat, and melt the ghee. And then you add your spices, and you just cook your spices for just a minute or 2 minutes. You don't want to make sure you don't want to burn your spices, but you want to just get them so that you can smell the aroma. So we're going to add a tablespoon of grated fresh ginger. And And we're going to add our cardamom pods, about 10 cardamom pods. And we're going to add a teaspoon of turmeric. And when the kitchari is all done, I leave the cardamom pods in. I like chewing on the cardamom pods, but my husband hates it. And so at the end, I have to fish the cardamom pods out. But it's always a good idea to take the bay leaf out. You don't want people biting into a bay leaf. Okay, so we're just gonna wake these spices up with a little heat and the fat, and it really makes all the nutrition and the constituents and the herbs bioavailable when you cook them like this a little bit. It releases their flavor and really adds the flavor to whatever you're going to use. Cook it in. Can you smell that? That smells so good. Oh, I love that. So you can see a little bit of smoke coming off, and I can really, there's just a fine line. You don't want to burn your spices, but you really want to make sure they've just started to really release their aroma. Okay, so you do that for a minute or two, and then you get all your soaked rice and mung dal, and you coat everything. Get everything all, you coat the rice and the dal in the spices. Okay, so you're just really adding that flavor, all the nutrition that's in the herbs and spices, and one of the main things about the spices is their carminative effect. And their ability, carminative spices, what they help you do is they increase the flow of blood, oxygen, and energy to the digestive tract so you can digest your food better. So that's so beautiful. Okay, so now here what you can add, you can use water or you can use your stock. So I have bone broth, but you can, so I'm adding 6 cups of broth. Okay, so just give it just a tiny stir just to make sure everything's all in there. And first you want to turn it on high, and you're just going to bring it to a boil. And then once it boils, you're just going to check on it. As soon as you bring it to a boil, you're going to turn it down, and you're going to cook it on low until all the liquid is used. And that's usually about 20 to 25 minutes, but every stove is different. And so right now we're just going to wait for it to come to a boil. Okay, so once it's come to a boil like this, what you want to do is just put the lid on and then turn it on to the very lowest setting and just let it slowly cook. Okay, and for this pot right here, this will take about 20 to 25 minutes, and what you want to do is just check it in 20 minutes, and when all the liquid is gone is when it'll be done. Okay, so yeah, looks like our kitchari is ready, and there you have it. This is delicious, nutritious, nourishing lunch.